Autopilot wins a major victory today on multiple fronts, and Ludicrous Plus is proven out. Here are your Tesla tidbits for January 20th, 2017. Credit for this story goes to Electrek, Teslarati, and Inside EVs for all their excellent coverage of this story. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, released its final report today on the investigation of the May 7th crash with Autopilot engaged that took the life of Joshua Brown. Of course, Autopilot was immediately blamed for the cause of the accident. Not only was Autopilot vindicated in the crash, it was shown to be an asset to safety, reducing crashes by 40% after its launch. This was found by NHTSA's Office of Defects Investigation. Within the report, they were referenced saying, quote, ODI analyzed mileage and airbag deployment data supplied by Tesla for all model year 2014 through 2016 Model S and 2016 Model X vehicles equipped with the Autopilot technology package, either installed in the vehicle when sold or through an OTA update to calculate crash rates by miles traveled prior to and after Autopilot installation, end quote. What they found was a crash rate of 1.3 crashes per million miles traveled on vehicles not equipped with auto steer, and a crash rate of 0.8 crashes per million miles traveled on vehicles equipped with auto steer. I think it's important to stop and note here that they are specifically referencing auto steer, not Autopilot in general, as the whole suite has other active safety features not related to the car's autonomous system. NHTSA is essentially showing data that it is 40% safer to have the car drive itself. This can't be understated. It's a huge confirmation of the technology's stated goal. Those worried about putting out this step rather than going for full self-driving now have nothing left to quarrel, as the feature is provably avoiding accidents, even at level 2 autonomy, and that is phenomenal news. In another strong statement for Tesla, the report stated, quote, NHTSA's examination did not identify any defects in design or performance of the AEB, that's automated emergency braking for those not aware, or autopilot systems of the subject vehicles, nor any incidents in which the systems did not perform as designed, end quote. Further, related to the actual crash investigation, one of the more interesting finds is that NHTSA believed the truck to be visible to the driver for as much as 7 seconds before impact. This would seem to point to Mr. Brown being distracted from the road for a lengthy amount of time before striking the truck. The report's main conclusion is that Autopilot, no different than any other driver assistance system, quote, require the continual and full attention of the driver to monitor the traffic environment and be prepared to take action to avoid crashes, end quote. After a review of Tesla's communications to customers regarding Autopilot, they said, quote, although perhaps not as specific as it could be, Tesla has provided information about system limitations in the owner's manuals, user interface, and associated warnings alerts, as well as a driver monitoring system that is intended to aid the driver in remaining engaged in the driving task at all times, end quote. Needless to say, Elon and Tesla are thrilled at the results, as both have been seen tweeting and retweeting several articles related to the NHTSA report. Congrats to the Tesla team on the resounding victory for autonomous driving today. Here's hoping this can be used as a launching point to accelerate regulations allowing for autonomous vehicles across the world. A nice dovetail to this story is Elon's tweet regarding the availability of Autopilot on Hardware 2 cars. On one of the many tweets I mentioned previously, Twitter user @GavinNWaters replied, quote, great, can we expect activation in the remainder of Hardware 2 fleet soon, end quote. Elon responded saying, quote, looking good so far, should roll out this weekend, end quote. If it happens, keep an eye out here Monday for our confirmation. Finally today, the Tesla Racing channel on YouTube did what Drag Times was unable to do. At the drag strip, which will have optimal grip compared to the street that Brooks was on, the TRC ripped off a blistering 2.389 0 to 60. And this is a standard 0 to 60 measure, not even utilizing the Motor Trend method. You'd have to think that a few more thousands, if not hundreds, could be shaved off by knocking off that first foot of rollout. Later on in the video, at the 8th mile track, he posted a scorching 6.694 8th mile time. Congratulations to the Tesla Racing channel on the awesome day at the track. Check out the links to today's full stories in the show description. If you get some value out of the show, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks so much to my super patrons John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, and Cookie UK for their support at the $10 plus level. As usual, though, if you have nothing to spare, it's no worries at all, friends. You can still support the show for free with positive reviews and by spreading word of the show. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. Speaking of that feedback, you'll note the lack of music today. It was pretty unanimous that everyone did not like the music, so that experiment is over. In a way, I'm a bit glad, as it was not an insignificant amount of effort to put that into the show each time. If I get to doing some long-form projects, it may make a comeback for those, as the major sentiment was that it made the show longer when you all just wanted the info, and this is the niche I meant to fill in creating this show. 30 seconds in a 10-minute video is one thing, but 30 seconds in a 4-minute video is significant, and working against a major tenet of the show. Thanks to everyone for all your feedback. That's it for today. I'll see you back here again next week. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.